Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Here, and I have some specific questions about how things would be different if there was a black conservative president in office right now, such as Herman Cain or Ben Carson. Right now, they're up Donald Trump's ass looking for every little reason they can impeach him. They can to impeach him. If there was a black conservative in office right now and he was anti-establishment, demanding that a wall be built and running his mouth like Trump does, or whatever it is that leftists can't stand about him, do you think that the left would be trying to get a black conservative president impeached like they are with Trump right now? Or do you think a black conservative would be better protected from that? Also, do you think black conservative supporters would get treated the way Trump supporters do? For example, do you think white college students with a Herman Cain or Ben Carson hat or shirt would get kicked out of class? Do you think that there would be white conservatives getting jumped and harassed in the street for wearing a Herman Cain or Ben Carson hat like there was with Trump? I just think that things would be much more calmer in America right now if conservatives had a black candidate fighting their battles for them. Your thoughts? I agree to a certain extent, maybe not to the extent that you think it would, because you have to understand that the Democrats, no matter what the current tactics are, who the president is, what the race may or may not be, even gender, they need their gimme-dats. The Democrat Party, the professionals, the devils, they are deathly afraid of work. And they will do whatever they can to remain in power so they don't have to work a real job. And the rank and file Democrat voters, because I don't think there are any more blue-collar Democrats who actually work for a living. It's just trust fund babies and rich little kids from the suburbs who have college degrees. They too are also deathly afraid of work, and they also need their gimme-dats. So the direct threat of a conservative president or a libertarian president doesn't matter what their skin color is, wouldn't matter what their gender was. The Democrat Party, the socialists of America, the parasitic class, their livelihood would be threatened. Actually, it wouldn't be threatened. They could always go get real jobs. But again, their fear of work and toil is worse than fear of death itself. And so they would be just as incentivized to attack a conservative or libertarian black president as they would a Donald Trump. Now, what would be different is their tactics, as well as we would avoid a decay in race relations. I wouldn't say necessarily a decay, but a tarnishing or a hurdle or a, I'd say, unnecessary complication if you had a black conservative president. Simply because it would take an arrow out of their quiver. They couldn't constantly play the race card. Now, they still would try, and you see this happening within the black community and other race communities, but the black community, where anytime a young black man or woman tries to do well, he's a traitor, he's acting white, he's an Oreo. So within the black community, you have what would be like an autoimmune disorder, where anytime somebody tries to do better, it's, oh, that's white, or you think you're better than us. So the autoimmune entity would attack that regardless. So that's going to happen. That would happen no matter what, but that would be relegated to within the black community. I don't think you'd have CNN and other mainstream media entities being able to pull the race card. They'd have to come out and say, well, you're not a real black, you're an Oreo. They'd have to you're an Uncle Tom. They'd have to resort to words of vocabulary that would definitely make them look unprofessional. It would definitely expose their political bias. And so, yeah, it would blunt them or mute them in that particular tactic. But don't worry, they would come up with something else. If it was, and knowing how the Democrats play, it would probably be his gender. if we had a Ben Carson or a not a Ben, a Herman Cain and a Ben Carson, yeah. They would start going after me. They would go and they would, who was Anita, not Sarkeesian, Anita, oh God, the baby boomers who started the whole sexual harassment thing. Justice Clarence Thomas and Anita, I almost guarantee this would happen. It would go to a sex war because when Clarence Thomas came in, the Democrats found Anita, whatever her name was, Justice Kavanaugh. They went and they found Miss Bitchy Whoreface, and that's how they would take these guys. And now, oh, you're taking advantage. Okay, then Aaron, why don't we get a black female conservative like Candace Owens? All right, I was all for Miss Boots. But she was too smart. She was smart enough not to run for president. She was Secretary of State under Bush. Why can't I remember anyone's names today? Condoleezza Rice. You then take out the sex and the race. Well, what about Latino? What about, and you can see how they, what about gay, transgender? What about gay? They will always go to the next trait and variable, although you could take out several of their arrows from their quiver. But they will always find a way. They always will find something to complain about because their livelihoods are directly threatened. So you're not going to lessen their hatred of productive, free, self-supporting people. You're not going to get rid of that hatred. You're just going to get rid of reasons for them to hate, and they will come up with completely new ones. And the media will help them with it. They'll play along with that. But in terms of calm, it's an interesting choice of words. I think things might be calmer on the race relations front a little bit. You would have less kids getting kicked out, yes. Black conservative supporters would still get treated poorly as they are now. There are black Trump supporters, and and they're standard. Your Uncle Tom, your sellout, whatever. I don't think that would really change. Things would be a touch more calmer, and we wouldn't have to waste our hours of time. Well, you guys waste your hours of time worrying about racial relations and oh my God, do you know that this racial thing happened and that racial thing? You guys would worry about it. There'd be less of that, but don't you worry. The Democrats, the parasites are going to parasite, man. Well, this leech. Oh, well, we just started throwing Latinos in the water, and the leeches in the water won't attack white people or black people. But the leeches are still going to attack. They're still going to attack. Well, then we found a transgender. The leeches are still going to attack. That is their nature. They want your money. They don't want to work. Don't make politics any more confused than that, because that's all it is. The rest of this is all show. The rest of it is all lies and excuses for parasites to hide behind and say, they can't just say, we want your money, give us free money. They got to say, even look at this pathetic excuse. The millennials now coming up who want their student loans forgiven. We were lied to. No, you're dumb. You're fucking dumb. And you signed away, and what did you think? The money was free? No. They'll come up with any possible... Perfect example. To show you to what extent parasites are going to parasite. You're a white, straight male. Well, what do you hide behind? Oh, I got it. The ADHDs and the Asperger's and the autism. It may actually exist, but you need to actually have it to claim you have it so that you get special preferential treatment. I was going to call it special referral treatment, which is a combination between preferential and special. It's preferential treatment. They get preferential treatment because I have the hood-to-hood-to-hoods and I have the autisms and I got the Asperger's. It's like, no, you don't. Shh. I'm a white male. I need something. And I'm a lazy fuck on top of it. But yes, it would throw a little water on the racial fire going on now. And it's kind of sad because those are two guys I wanted. Herman Cain would have been a great president. And Ben Carson, people are like, oh, you're just trying to sell your book. No, I'm not. I am totally not trying to sell The Black Man's Guide Out of Poverty, which would get every black man out of poverty. Totally not trying to do that. No, the reason I picked those two is because if you look at them as candidates, they were two guys that actually had private sector experience. And they weren't fucking Mitt Romney. They weren't just fucking George Bush the 24th or whoever, Jeb Bush. These guys were actual humans who worked in the real world. They just happened to be black. All right, so there you go. Questions, answers, links to everything down below. AssholeConsulting.com. My great political analysis and more. And then while you're at that, you want great political analysis, get Love Letters to the Left. Totally not trying to sell this book either. Love Letters to the Left. Great economic political philosophy. There. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.